Tristan, let's talk about some hot topics because hot topics equate to trending content, and trending content equates to solid engagement, and solid engagement equates to lots of opportunities. Should I just keep going here? Should I just keep going down this list? I don't know how far I can go.
Well, I think that the biggest concern for people that are listening, that are watching, that want to jump into social is that they don't know how to mesh in the trends, what's happening with their life and their business. And I think that's what we're bridging the gap more, especially lately, on how to do that better. And what better thing to start with than Joe Biden stepping aside and saying, this isn't for me. Who knows why? This isn't for me. Uh, I'm going to hand it off to Kamala Harris. How do we use something like that for our business if we want to two ways? Because I know we both agree on this, but if you want to show what side you're on, and if you don't want to show what side you're on, right? And there's no right answer. How do we use this for our business? What would you say if it's Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, no right answer. There's some people that disagree with that one, but that's what makes it so engaging. I will preface this conversation because this is one of two trending topics. The second one won't be nearly as controversial. But if you plan on putting out content, and I really wanted to talk, Tristan, about your most recent post, because we all know that I'm a pot stirrer in this regard. But I was
Yes, you
proud of
are,
you
sir.
because effectively you have now entered the pot stirring arena. Welcome.
And it's
And
funny. I didn't realize it until you told me. I was like, what did I do?
I mean, but you and so simply, so there's two trains of thought here. Like hit it head on, and own what you believe in. That's your choice. And you know it's could be very divisive. Just be prepared for that. However, I don't think that's a bad thing because I think too many of us try to stay way too vanilla and way too gray, which means we never get seen and then it's useless. And so I'm not saying that you should choose politics because I don't, but that's because I'm in the middle anyway. And I don't you're not going to force me onto a side. I'm not going onto a side. But I think if you do something like what Tristan did, and Tristan, maybe you can share what the video
Yeah.
was, but just talking about what and in your case, it was what would the impact be if Trump wins the presidency? And then what you should do is another one saying, what will the impact be once we determine who the Democratic, you know, selection is going to be at this point? How will that impact the housing industry? But it is fascinating and sad how many people like you didn't. I watched your video because I wanted to see were you leaning aside? No, not
Mm-mm.
even close. But yet you said Trump, you said if he wins, and that hit a Democratic algorithm, and people crucified you for it, and it was stupid. But that's the state of our
Mm.
country.
That's very true, buddy. Very true. The one you're talking about is right in the middle. We've got 16,000 views just on Instagram alone. But the important piece is, uh, I'm going to mute it. The comments for me are the most important ones because they're either agreeing or they're saying, oh, we're going downhill. And this is a funny one. Victoria says, thank God your voice is so calm.
Yeah.
This one, which was
You
which
all
made
so
me you.
it's funny. All the comments at the top are not the non-controversial ones. Those are all like easy ones. Now they'll keep scrolling.
Let's go
There,
Trump 24.
there you go, Danny.
Deregulation on approvals could lead to
Yeah.
more purchase short term, but I think I have seen how that plays out, right? Wouldn't we see defaults? Okay, so now they're starting to get further. I haven't
Right.
even gone over this and put in a question mark. It's like this
Yep.
person's like thinking,
Yep.
and then this person, how would Trump being in the White House bring rates down?
Yep.
This is an interesting one. I want to share this one with you, okay? Because this goes right to your point. I'm going to click on Todd. I'm going to go to messages and I'm going to go to what happened. So I put Cartman, right? As a response, I just swiped. And then I put because he asked me a question, and that was a really good question, right? And I was like, I don't know the answer to it yet. Let me think about it. And then he said, that didn't answer the question. Are you trying to be offensive or funny? I can't tell. You didn't answer the question, right? And then in the video, which I will not show you, he says, "Are you calling me Cartman? Tristan,
Ah,
I used to have respect for you." And the dude, it gets crazy, right? This is how nuts it gets.
wow.
And obviously I go, dude, you misread. You're putting your own bias into it. And then he apologized, right? But the point is, that's how crazy this thread got. You hit it right on the head because I had multiple ones
Yeah.
about that,
Yeah.
which you're right on, dude. You're right
Well,
on.
I hope Todd actually happens to listen to this, because it's a really great example. And this is twofold. Number one, remember that your engagement on social, both on other people's content and in response to people engaging with your content, is a direct reflection of you as a business owner, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what your business is. And so if you're the person who's jumping into content and spouting off, well, that's a reflection. If you're defensive in your responses, maybe kind of even attacking to people that are attacking you, that's a representation of how you handle tough situations. And so I don't think a lot of people really think about this as it relates to social, because it is social media and we get so
Yeah,
caught up in our emotions. And I mean, we need more people just being calm and just like, that's the thing that's so frustrating to me. And that's why I typed in, like, I'm just here for the comments, because
which is
I,
good.
I do the same thing. Like, I stay intentionally neutral, even though I'm stirring it, but I'm not even really stirring it. I just know it's going to stir it because people are so ridiculously highly emotional about politics.
Yeah, man. It's just remember this, and this is why I love your take on it. There's no right or wrong answer. That's actually the real answer. There is no right or
Yeah.
wrong answer, regardless of what you listening think. There you go. But I think we need to look at it this way. Whenever you put something out, people are putting in their emotions, their reality into what they're reading. So they're going to misread it. And if you leave it without you answering a question like I did with Todd, by the way, Todd and I are friends. He's like, "Do you want me to delete my comment?" I'm like, "Todd, leave it up there, bro. It's good to discuss this shit, right?" If we leave it without saying what it was that we meant, we lose an opportunity to connect with our audience and grow our audience one way or the other, right? I also posted, Jeff, along those lines, just so you know, that I wanted to congratulate NASA because we landed on the moon, uh, like, I don't know, fucking 70 years ago. I forgot. I'm drawing a blank. And then I had people message me asking, "Hey, do you believe that?" I'm like, no comment. I'm like, yes, we fucking landed on the moon. Elon wouldn't have been able to use all that tech. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And anyway, I didn't say that. I'm like, hey, you know what? I have a lot of friends that don't believe we landed on the moon. I have some friends that believe the earth is a flat thing too, which is crazy. I go, and that's okay. I'm not gonna hate on you. But I'm just saying, like, that's happening. And you
Yeah.
have to be prepared on how you're gonna respond to that shit. So
I
that's
think
pretty
the moral of the political story is I think it is important, if you want to ramp up your social engagement, is, and honestly even test yourself a little bit, because this is a test, and being able to live in a social arena where you're going to get hate is a necessity for the social journey. And so I challenge some of you who shy away from this content to go take the exact same article that Tristan used. Tristan, you can guide them where to get it, and just
Mhm.
go Google it. Just go Google it. How will the housing market be impacted if Republican wins, if Democrat wins, and then just do a couple of takes on it, but do it as a way to, again, challenge yourself,
Educate.
put yourself out there. What's that?
Mhm. To educate, to
Yeah,
educate
and
along
educate, of
your
course.
field. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
But
then that's
expect hate, even though you didn't deserve it. But
yeah.
you expect it. And here's the next challenge. Don't delete the hateful comments. Respond with kindness. I challenge you to respond, not ignore, respond with kindness. That's what I challenge you to do.
I like that, man. And that's a challenging thing because when somebody accuses us, we get very sensitive, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. I
Okay.
like that. All
Now
right.
back to a more happy trending topic.
All right. The Olympics. The Olympics. Did you watch any of the games or did you at least see what was happening
Well, they
with
haven't started.
any of the pre-games? Because
Oh yeah.
you're watching the basketball ones, right?
Look, well, I saw the score the other night where we almost lost to South Sudan. But I watched a lot of the track and field and swimming like preliminary stuff. Yeah.
Yep. I couldn't believe that we almost lost to South Sudan, dude. I go, what am I missing here?
Yeah.
Do we suck that
No.
bad? Or is South Sudan really good?
I mean, they probably didn't take him that serious. There was a clip of LeBron saying that he actually prefers those games. He prefers getting tested versus the blowouts. But I'm like, well, yeah. Good
It's
response,
funny.
LeBron, but you were a 43 and a half point favorite. You shouldn't have yeah, had to hit the winning shot with 8 seconds to go.
Oh, it's so funny, man. All right, the
But
Olympics.
let's talk about that.
What opportunities do you think we have in grabbing that content for our particular fields? What does that look like?
There's a few things in my opinion that you can do. So we actually and if you want this, just shoot me a DM. I'm happy to send it to you. But we did a post recently about the top 10 states with the most medals. And so that's kind of interesting. It was interesting data. The
Oh,
top 10, the number one state is Maryland, and I bet you can guess why. Because Michael Phelps is from there. And so they have the most I think it was gold medals specifically, the most
that's
gold medals. But it
cheating.
was, but it was fascinating because like states like Vermont were in the top 10 because they've got a bunch of skiers. And so, anyways, it was just interesting data. But I think the other one that I'm going to do this week, Tristan, because at the time of this recording, this week is the opening ceremonies. And so I am going to do a post about just kind of looking for engagement and talking about the newest sports that have are in the Summer Olympics and the ones that aren't there anymore, and then just kind of ask a question at the end. What's your favorite Summer Olympic sport to watch? Something like that, just to kind of drive engagement. But I would encourage. It's such a hot trend, hot event that
Mhm.
creating content over the next few weeks will almost certainly drive some engagement. And that's kind of the idea. What about
Dude,
you?
I like that. Can you send me that link about the medals? Because you know how I
Yep.
always do the lists, the videos with the lists? Those blow up. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, you want the article or do you want the actual video?
I want the article and the video just to see what
Okay.
you did.
I'll send you both.
And
Sure.
then an opportunity for that is definitely lists. I think if you want to celebrate those people that are in the area that you cover as a real estate agent or the state that you're in, right? That's always a good thing too, or the country that you're from. Just make sure that you incorporate, like Jeff's saying, incorporate it into who you are and what you do, right? Or maybe you love a specific sport that's being covered, right? And you want to go all out on that. It's track and field, right? That's what we're doing this year.
What? What about it?
For the Olympics, it's not the Winter
It's
Olympics,
it's
right?
the Summer Olympics. So track and
Oh,
field, swimming, marathon,
oh,
basketball,
perfect.
golf. Yeah.
For me, I enjoy
I'll
this one. So that means we're also going to have wait, is this where gymnastics is as
yeah,
well?
gymnastics, correct. Yep.
That's the best. All right, so then this is going to be super fun. So just look for opportunities to include it into the things that you love and the states you're in, the cities you're in, and maybe even the people that are from the areas that you're in. I bet you, Jeff, if you look into it, there's probably quite a few people in there that are from Missouri. Missouri produces a lot of amazing athletes.
Really?
So it'd be interesting to look. Yeah.
Thought I was the only one.
No, no, you'd be surprised. It's not just you. It's not it's not just you. This is great.
We do have we did produce Jason Tatum, the Boston Celtic NBA champion.
Oh, nice, man. I
He's from
didn't
St.
know
Louis.
that.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, so then let's talk about Instagram really quick. Two new things were released. I'm going to go and show them on my screen. If you are following us, you get to see it. If not, we'll explain it over to you anyway. I'm going to go over to my Instagram and I'm going to go to Reels, just random to Reels. And what I'm showing right now is just a reel of a motorcycle guy driving a motorcycle. And I'm going to share it. You know how you would normally share it with the little paper airplane on the right? I'm going to share it. And now what happens, you have options. You can now share by saying add a note, and it's at the bottom left. And TikTok used to have this temporarily, and they removed it. But if I click on add a note, I can add a note that says, check this bike out. All right, let me put whatever note I want.
Check this bougie out.
That's even better. Check check this bike out. Share with followers you follow back, or who do you want to follow, right? And this is the opportunity to add different different people to this. So for right now, I have close friends, right? By the way, Jeff's in that one. So if I click on that, I'll only send it to 12 people, right?
I don't know why anybody would
Or
ever do that.
yeah,
I never do
well,
that, by the way. I never do
you
that.
know, you know who does it? I don't either. It's a younger generation. But you can also check out what I just did. I added that little note to that video. So everyone that's following me, if they happen to watch this video and they're scrolling through, they're going to see that I added a note.
Can you
And
can
I've
you
seen
can
it.
you so you're posting it as a reel
I'm posting it in that reel. So
in
any
the
of my,
reel?
yeah, in that reel. So any of my friends that are watching the same reel by any,
Ah,
they're going to see that I commented on it as a note on the bottom left, which is kind of cool.
interesting. Yeah.
It's a different take on it. And if you go to, let's say, I think it was this one. No, I saw Shaniqua comment on one of mine, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So Shaniqua did it, but I didn't do it on that one. Anyway, so now you can be scrolling and you can see some of your friends' notes pop up inside of the reel. And I thought that was really cool, dude. That's number one. By the way, millennials, Gen Z using that one a lot. Next one is in the reel section. If you go to reels, you pick a video. Let's just pick any video on my screen. I'm going to mute it. I'm going to go to next. I'm going to add now multiple tracks to this. So I can go to any music and then pick any music I want. Let's say it's this funny one. I'm going to pause it. I added one piece of music. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit. I can go and edit and I can shrink it. You see that, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
I can shrink that now music and I'm going to add another section of music and be like, you know
Where?
what?
Oh,
Let's
tap to add audio. See, mine doesn't have that
yeah.
option yet. So you just may be like me and not have the option yet.
Yeah, you probably some people don't, and that's fine. It'll pop up for everyone. They're just testing it out. But now I can have two sets of music, one right here. Uh, I can't. I need to extend that one. There it is, right there. And then I can have three sets of different sounds for reels or four or five. The point is, it changes the tempo of the reel or the video that you're watching. And I thought that's pretty cool. I've always wanted to do that in some videos because my tempo changes or what I'm talking about changes. And I think that's just the beginning of this thing, this editing tool becoming better because I still feel TikTok's is way better. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Jeff, but sometimes when I'm editing, my edit like breaks and I have to start all over. And I hate that on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a feature, a new feature that a lot of people have asked for over the years. Like, how do I do it? Because you TikTok's notorious for the mashup videos or mashup audio, which I love, and I go
Yep.
find them. But now you can make your own. Now, I also could foresee this becoming a massive time suck for people because now you're spending more time trying to put together the perfect mashup. So just watch your time. I mean, Tristan, I don't know about you, but I do not even stress about audio much anymore. If a talking head, I very rarely put audio underneath me because it doesn't matter. And if I'm looking for a no talking video, I just go to ChatGPT. I tell it what the video is, and it gives me a bunch of suggestions, and I'm out. I wasted so much time looking for audio, but it still is a cool feature. And as soon as I have it, you better believe I'm going to be using it. I will be one
Yeah.
of those people wasting time.
Yeah. Testing it out, seeing how it's going to
Yes, I
work.
will be testing it out. Yes.
I love it, man. Well, that's all we got, man. Anything else?
a, a lot happening. So, moral of the story, you've got two cool new features. So keep an eye out if you have them. I think most of us have the notes feature, the notes one, but not everyone has the audio one. Uh, Listen, you've got today is towards we're getting towards the end of July. You've got several months now until the election. That's a lot of opportunity to keep this in your feed. Play along. Just play along. It's worth it. And then the Olympics, of course, you've got just a few weeks for that. So jump all over it, take advantage of it, post about it.
I love it.
All right. See you in the next one.
Recording